Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This video was obviously due yesterday, as I said, on Monday when I made my video, but I treated you to a double upload, so I thought, you know what, we'll take a little day break, let people catch up on the two Rival Minute videos, and we'll make it today. So, wrapping up the end of the season, I suppose, for the Scottish Premiership. We've already spoke about my reactions, my predictions, what I predicted at the start of the season, and then what actually it did finish. Then I gave my opinion on every team's season quite briefly. Obviously, the extended Celtic version yet to come after the Cup final. If you want to check that out, it's on the video from on the channel from Monday, so just go and get it there. The link will be in the description below. But today, the final video to wrap up the whole Scottish Premiership season. A bit late, probably, a bit later than, you know, the official ones and the pundits ones, and even the one on the SPFL show you may have seen. I'm going to sit here and give my opinion for the SPFL team of this season. Now, I know this is quite a controversial video. People always have their opinions of who should be there, who shouldn't be there. Apparently, sometimes, you know, I'm biased towards one team and then I'm not nice enough to another team. I've tried to be as fair as possible while keeping it quite standard, because I went for a 4-4-2, which means I kind of had to bring in another striker when I probably would have wanted to bring in another winger, but I just couldn't. So I've just kind of simplified it all to have this team and improvised to make it the best that I possibly could for players who performed well this season. Now, I understand that many even won't agree. You don't need to agree. All you have to do is sit and listen to my opinion. So here we go. I'm going to go through the team. I'm going to try and do what I done the other day, and I'm going to try and go through this in one take. Hopefully I'll have graphics on the screen this time. Let's just get right into it. So starting from the back, as you would expect me to do, we're going to start in the goalkeeper position, and I'm going with Joe Lewis. Firstly, just want to say I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible for each player. Once again, don't want to try and drag this to 20 minutes like I did the last one. Didn't mean it, it just happened. So I'll try and keep it to about a minute and a half a player, and we'll get through it all. Anyway, goalkeeper, Joe Lewis. For me, still the best keeper in Scotland. I would say I think he's had a great season despite Aberdeen finishing fourth in the table this season, not making it into that top three, which was a letdown obviously for them because they've finished second for so many years now. But other teams have improved. They were unlucky, but a keeper who still put in some stellar performances. I don't believe there are many better than him in the country. A lot of Rangers fans right now are saying, but McGregor, what about Alan McGregor? I still think Joe Lewis a better keeper than Alan McGregor. For the Celtic fans who may think Scott Bain only played half a season and has the best team in the country in front of him as well. Got to remember that. So I think Bain next year with a full season ahead of him could be the goalkeeper, but for me, Joe Lewis is still the best keeper in the country. He makes some outstanding saves. It's unbelievable the stuff he does. And if it wasn't for Joe Lewis, how worse off would Aberdeen be this season? I think if Rangers were to play Foderingham in goals, there wouldn't have been a massive difference. They still would have probably finished that second spot, but without Joe Lewis, Aberdeen could have been in a lot of trouble. Right back, I have got James Taverner. Had to go with him, otherwise I probably would have had my channel shut down by Rangers fans and reported numerous times. And there's no denying it should be Taverner. There's no better right back in the country at the moment. I mean, he scores goals, he makes goals from that position. I think he's scored over 10 goals and assisted over 10 goals this season. I can't remember the exact number. CJ has told me about 500 times. He doesn't shut up about it. But he's a good player. He's a playmaker as well as a defender. He's not the most complete player you're ever going to see, but he puts in a shift and he had an impressive season. Arguably one of the best defenders in the league this season, so probably deserves to be in the team. Hats off to him. Decent player. And I mean, he's got no competition from Celtic. I mean, Mikael Lustig, he's certainly not going to be in this team. On to the centre half, so I'm going to start with the first Celtic player who makes the team for me, and that is Christopher Ajer. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. You said you didn't put Bain in for only playing half a season, but you'll put Ajer in for only playing half a season. Now, Ajer did play a little bit at the start as well, just keep that in mind. But yes, predominantly played the second half of the season, but the impact that he had on the team and the defensive problems that he, you know, helped correct, and the performances he put in are unbelievable and can't go ignored. For a man who isn't originally or naturally a centre half, and a man of his age, you know, he's only 20 years old, for him to come into the Celtic team this year and show that he can be the first choice centre back, no matter who he's partnered with, whether it be Siminovic, Boyata or Benkovic, he deserves to be in this team for me. For such a young man to adapt and come into this team, he done a fantastic job. He made some big tackles, very passionate. The tackle against Rangers really says it all, when he saved it from an equaliser right at the death of the game. Ajer's a phenomenal player. He's got a big future ahead of him. He's good at going forward. He's good at defending. Yes, there still are imperfections to his game. He's not a perfect player, but above other centre-backs in the league, I do feel like he deserves to be in this team. Joining him, beside him, there was a few options I could have went with. I could have went with Boyata for Celtic, who had a decent season all in. I could have went with Scott McKenna. if you believe he had a good season. There was plenty of options. There was Christophe Berra, another strong season for him despite being injured for a portion. But I had to go with Halkett from Livingston. Ultimately, the achievements that Livingston, what they achieved this year is unbelievable. The fact that they didn't go down it is unbelievable because they came up with the worst team and the worst amount of money to spend. So it's admirable, and really it all comes down to how good they were at defending this season. Their defence, especially at home throughout the first portion of the season, was unbelievable, and really it came down to this guy centre-back. Halkett was probably the instrumental one within that back four who kept things going. And hats off to their keeper as well, another keeper who deserved a shout to be in this team of the season for Kelly, who had a fantastic season at Livingston as well. But Halkett, I think you'll see everything that's been said by pundits, by fans, by Livy fans, by other fans, in the media and such. They've praised his season highly, and he's a fantastic player, and he's had a solid season. And yes, I put him over by and such. I just feel like he has to be there. Finally, left back. We're going to do the defensive one. Take that. I need a fucking breather. Left back, I've went for Greg Taylor of Kilmarnock. Not much else to say apart from I think the left back position all around the league has been very weak all season. There's not anybody who really stands out apart from this man. Usually it'd be Kieran Tierney who you'd be thinking, yes, that's the left back. And it's mad to think that we're looking at a left back, the team of the season, that isn't Kieran Tierney, but ultimately Kieran Tierney has had a nightmare season. Injuries have plagued him. He's not had a consistent season. He's not had the chance to play week in, week out. And ultimately, it's allowed Greg Taylor to prove himself as the best left back in the league this season. Obviously, Kieran Tierney is still a better player. He is. He's got better potential. He's better on the park. But this year, he's been so flooded by injuries that it doesn't allow me to choose him as the starting left back. I don't think it would be fair. Because Greg Taylor was a big part in that successful Kilmarnock side this season. Good at defending, good at going forward. Caused problems against the big teams as well. And that's why I've had to put him in the team. Fuck it, we're going for one take. Let's do it. On to the midfield four. As I said, I'm doing a 4-4-2. And we're starting with the right midfielder, as you would expect. Right midfielder is the only option you could put in here. There's no competition whatsoever. James Forrest, arguably the player of the year. How much else do I need to say? Mainly Celtic fans will watch this video as it's my audience. If you're not a Celtic fan, then I don't feel like I even still need to go through the justification for why I'm picking James Forrest. He has just had a season that he's constantly improving, and I hope he does it again next year despite the managerial changes. But there's no one else to contest him for this position in the team of the season. It has to be James Forrest. The central midfielder partnership, the last Celtic player who's getting into the team, in fact, for me, is Callum McGregor, the player of the year. For me, once again, don't need to justify why I've put him into this team. He has had an incredible season. He is Celtic's Mr. Consistent. I think the last bit of the season, that last portion where Neil Lennon came in and such, he probably wasn't as good or as consistent as what he was for the rest of the season, but he was still a major player, and he's still in that team week in, week out. The amount of minutes he puts in playing for Celtic, the amount of work he does in the middle of the park, means he has to make the team of the season. He's an unbelievable talent, a player who is probably, in my eyes, the best at Celtic, and for me, had to get into the team, so I'm going for him. Then, beside him, we're going for Turnbull of Motherwell. Is it David? Is David his first name? I don't want to say that in case I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Turnbull, anyway, a player who's getting linked with big moves now. He's broke into the Motherwell side and fantastically done so. As I commented about Motherwell in the review a couple of days ago, they go under this kind of overhaul every couple of years and such, and they bring through good youth players and they sign unknown players and make them good. But Turnbull has came up with Hasty, and he has been a joy for the Motherwell fans, and a big key player in the middle of the park. It's one of the most important positions, and it's an important role to play, and he played it well. And now you're looking at teams like Celtic maybe signing him, and he will move on probably when he feels right, and he'll move on to a bigger team. He deserves to after that season. Will he keep it up going next season? That's the question, but consistency was there. A good player, good for the future. And once again, when you look at how young this guy is, and the performances he put in, for me, he gets in over the likes of Ryan Jack and such, because he's doing it at a team that is far more difficult to play at. You've got a bigger struggle, and he's so young. So for me, Turnbull had to get the place in the team. At the left mid position, I personally don't believe that he is all that is made out to be, but I'm going to put Ryan Kent. Yes, Rangers fans, you can wheel away in jubilation. I've got another Rangers player in there. That's your second of the video. But yeah, there could have been other options. But Ryan Kent, you know, he dances around in the big games. He performed well against Celtic. He is that kind of game changer, you could say, for Rangers. He is a decent player. I personally don't think he's what he's getting made out to be. I think his statistics show that, but at the end of the day, it's not all about statistics for me. I think goals and assists, yes, they play a major part in football, but sometimes it's about how players come in and change the game and open it up for other players. And Ryan Kent is good at doing that, and he showed that against Celtic. And he scored big goals against Celtic this season. So for me, Ryan Kent has gone in. Hopefully that pleases you Rangers fans. And to please you even more, we're moving up front, and the two strikers I've decided to go for. Alfredo Morelos, he's the top scorer. I mean, you can't make a team of the season and not include the top scorer, no matter how much hatred you have for him. I'm trying my best not to sound biased or anything like that, but I think I'm doing a good job. 3 Rangers players is fair. I've only got 3 Celtic players. Alfredo Morelos is the league top scorer, and the top scorer automatically goes into the team of the season. That's how it works. If you're the top scorer, you're in the team. Simple as that. I don't know how much else I need to add to justification. Yes, ideally I wouldn't have a team with a striker who's sent off 5 games a season. It was the only thing turning me off from putting him in the team, but then I realised if I didn't put him in the team, the comments section would be warfare. So I had to put in Alfredo to my displeasure. But he's there, so Rangers fans, stay happy. Will he stay at Rangers next season? Let me know what you think, Rangers fans, if you think he'll remain at the club. Obviously, eyes are on him now for having such a good season. He's still no Moussa Dembele. And finally, beside him, I've got Sam Cosgrove, who scored, I think, 15 goals this season. I would love to have put Big Edouard in, but Edouard kind of danced around from injury to injury and never really got that consistency behind him because of that. Yes, he did score goals. He scored big goals as well. And ultimately, I believe he's one of the best players in the league because when it comes to the big games, he shows that. But if you're going for someone who was there week in, week out this season and did get goals, it's probably Cosgrove for me. I think this was the one that was the most lackadaisical choice for myself. I just kind of threw him in. Because, he has had a good season, but probably if I shuffled things about, especially formation-wise, he could be easily replaced. But Cosgrove is in the team at the end of the day. There's not much other options I could go for. He did have a good season though, and he's a good player with a bright future as well. So Sam Cosgrove finally makes the team for me. And that's it. That's my team of the season. I've done it all in one take. Clap for me. Thank you. Yes, I can talk shite. But I mean, quickly run through it one more time. It's Joe Lewis, James Taverner, Chris Ferrier, Halkett, Greg Taylor, James Forrest, Turnbull, McGregor, Kent, Morelos, and Sam Cosgrove, the 4-4-2. There you go. How would that team fare and playing in the Scottish Premiership? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know your team of the seasons. If you agree with mine, if you disagree with mine, leave it in as hateful a way as possible. I always enjoy it. And I'll see you all next time.